So some of you have probably noticed or seen that Iowa is back in the news again. We're attention hogs. We can't get enough of it. Between the tornadoes, between the storms, between the tornadoes hitting the ground, but now it's the flooding. The Midwest is just getting pummeled this year. All right, so there's a lot of flooding going on. Spencer, Iowa, up in the South Dakota. If you caught the last video, I showed you some pictures of mom and dad just trying to get through South Dakota. But up in here in Iowa, in Spencer, Iowa, exactly, Spencer, Rockwell, or Rock Valley, and a couple other towns up north are just completely, I guess Spencer is a complete loss. I heard that Spencer is completely flooded. Spencer is not a small town. Spencer is a pretty good sized town. So today is me and Sarah's anniversary, our 23rd wedding anniversary. I'm going to throw her on the motorcycle and we're going to go look at water. No, we are not going up north to look at Spencer or look at the towns that are devastated or shut down. Don't do that. Stay away. They have more important things to worry about than people gawking at their disaster. What we are going to do is we're going to jump on the motorcycle. The Little Sioux River is about 9 miles from me. That's going to flood. There's a town called Correctionville, Iowa, about 35-40 miles north of me, that they are going to start evacuating, I heard. And then Turin, Iowa, which is south of me, about 10-15 miles, they are going to evacuate that small little town too, because the Little Sioux River is going to flood. So I'm going to jump on the motorcycle with Warden, and we're just going to go check that river out, see how she's looking. We might spin up to Lamar's. Lamar's has had some they've had some flooding up there, but we have some friends up there we want to go see, and they've been flooded in the past 3 days. I think the way he was sounding, the water should go down over the road within the next couple hours, so we should be okay to go up there and visit them. Alright, it runs. We're good to go. Did I happen to mention our current temperature is, I think it's 98 degrees, almost 100 degrees. So it's going to be a warm one today. If it was up to me, I think we'd be in the pickup doing this little drive around and not on the motorcycle. It's Warden's anniversary too, though, and I have to remember that. She likes the motorcycle, so we use the motorcycle. There you go. Good, slave. You're doing good, slave. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Anywhere else you can see?
Anywhere you see water. Water is the enemy. You do good.
Today, I don't know.
Yeah, you do good. We are currently just off of Highway 31 in between the towns of Odo, Iowa and Anthon, Iowa. And yes, if you're curious, Odo, Iowa was named because somebody dropped a hammer on their toe and he yelled, "Oh, toe." This is the Little Sioux River right here. This is the river that I think is going to cause the most damage in our neck of the woods. This river is supposed to crest in the Correctionville area, which is about 15 miles north of us right now, maybe 10 miles north of us. It is supposed to crest tomorrow. I don't have an exact time on that yet, but we're going to work our way north a little bit more. We're going to swing into the next town we come into is going to be Anthon, Iowa. I heard that they're sandbagging, so we're going to keep our distance unless anybody needs some help, of course. But there's a lot of debris floating down this river, and it's right in the middle, which means she's still going up. Yeah, we're dry back home. We have nothing.
You know the worst part about it? We never got a drop of rain all week in a half inch. And look at this shit.
I know.
Yeah, no one. Yeah, none of us around here.
It's down here.
Everybody else got it. Now we're gonna have to deal with it all.
Yeah.
The whole area is gonna be underwater.
Where is? Okay, what rivers come into Correctionville? Little Sioux, and what's the other one?
That's the only one that comes in there.
That's the only one that merged. Isn't there two rivers?
Bacon Creek. No, the other one's a creek. It comes down from Pearson.
Gotcha.
No, that's just a. And then there's a There's a creek that comes from Cushing area over that way, right along Old 20. In between New and Old 20, it comes there too.
And they shut down Highway 20.
Yeah, they said the water was been going over the road for over 3 hours. They were letting them. They were at each end of the DOT, and they were letting one car at a time go this way. When he got over there, they let one car come this way.
Where we are standing right here in Anthony, Iowa, they're expecting right here where I'm standing to be 8 feet of water by 1 a.m. The city of Correctionville, which is probably about 6 miles away, is underwater right now from the way that gentleman was talking.
Think how those logs can knock out that bridge?
No, they can't take that bridge out, but they can dam the water up even more. The crazy thing about this boat ramp right here, Sarah, is this is a steep boat ramp. I have backed my pickup down this boat ramp before, and it was like a wheel spinner coming back up. It was so steep. That's how much water is right here.
Right.
I was talking to a couple of people we know back there. The water on that ramp back there has come up probably 6 feet in the last 2 hours. This thing over here, they're building dikes around their sewer treatment plant right now. They are done sandbagging. They expect Anthony to take a pretty hard hit. They don't think it's going to get flooded out like Correctionville, but they're expecting everything up over here to be flooded. We're still seeing a few cars over there. That right there is Correctionville, Iowa. And they have it barricaded off here, which we completely expected to see this barricade right here. These gravel pits right over here behind me, we were actually camping right over there in one of our previous videos. Those gravel pits are full of water now. They were emptied out and they were getting gravel out of them. But the gentleman back there at Anthony was informing us that Highway 20 had shut down. Not 100% sure yet if that information is correct, because you can see parts of Highway 20 over here on top of the hill. We can see vehicles every once in a while, but I don't know, Sarah, it kind of looks like barricades on top of the hill, doesn't it?
No, there's a farm up there that has fence.
Oh, okay.
There's been cars coming down.
There's one going up. So maybe Correctionville isn't completely underwater?
I don't know.
Well, I hope not. You can clearly see right here is, and that was expected because that's where the river comes into town.
That always floods.
Always floods. But I don't know if it floods that bad, does it? I don't know. In 2019, we had some pretty massive floods.
That road right now.
Yeah, and you can't even get to that road that comes down to it anymore.
No.
But in 2019, we had some really nasty flash floods come down through here, and they're expecting this just to obliterate the 2019 flood stage. That's I don't know if anyone in town had any time to sandbag anything or not. All right, I did exactly what I said I was not going to do. We are in Correctionville, Iowa, and I'm realizing that I have made a mistake. There is no one sandbagging anywhere to where I think I could help out in any which way. I did see one person sandbagging, but they were pretty much figuring that out, or finishing it up. The one thing I will say is I'm darn glad that gentleman in Anthony was wrong. He said Correctionville was underwater. It is not. Correctionville is not underwater. But when we round this corner over here, I'm going to walk around here. Highway 20 is a mess. There's people everywhere trying to figure out which way to go. And the town is full of people like me. I should not be here. Foolishness. Don't come to a town that's about to be in a disaster. None of its local residents want to see you driving around it. Is it?
Yeah.
It's closed up.
So, it's not in order. I'm going home.
Yep. So here's where we sit right now. We're right at the intersection of Highway 31 and Highway 20. Highway 20 is closed. You guys can probably not see it on the camera, but there is water starting to creep across it. We've seen four semis come down the road, and I'm not sure if they have the road closed yet up by, well, your next nearest major highway would be Holstein. And I don't think they have it closed there, and if they do, people went around it to get here, which I'm doubting if it's closed. They're saying the only way you're going to get across this river right now is probably going to come down towards Mapleton on Highway 175, which is 40 miles away, and you're going to have to take some back roads to get there. My goal was to get to Lamar's today, to our friend's house. I wanted to show off. I wanted to show some flooding up there in the Lamar's area, but the way they're talking, Highway 20 here is going to be completely covered by 1 a.m. We spoke with a few, well, we had a couple friends pull up right here that live right on the outside of town here, and we spoke to them a little bit, and they were saying maybe 1995 was probably the last time, or 93 was the last time they seen it this bad. 2019 it came up a little bit. 2011 wouldn't have affected this area, right, Sarah? No, that was more of the Council Bluffs, Interstate 29 area.
Oh, there's that ace truck. Back to
This road closure is nothing but a trucker's nightmare. We're up to like 6-7 trucks now. They've come through the parking lot. There's 2 of them that pulled a U-turn in the middle of the highway. This is insane, Sarah.
They should have it marked off. It just says done. But they don't.
they are darn lucky that this parking lot is here for U-turns, but these drivers, they're going to sit here and they're going to try to think, how do I get to Sioux City, Iowa? Because this is a major artery up here to get through to Sioux City, and it's just not going to happen. They're going to have to do some serious backtracking. What were you telling me about the parks, the campgrounds?
So Peters Park outside of Rodney, they are closing because they're hoping that the dikes hold, but just to be sure, they want everybody to go home. And then I-29 between North Sioux City and Jefferson are going to be closing overnight.
And that's still north.
That's still north, yes.
That means there's still water coming.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Okay, I'm going to walk over here on the other side of the store. We are in Mobile, Iowa right now. They have the Highway 20 shut off here at Mobile. We're not around any flood water right now. I wanted to walk over here, that way the wife wouldn't be around me when I'm on my little rant here. Complete BS. I am not a happy camper right now. Started out the video, I just wanted to show you guys some flood water that's going on here in Iowa. Now it's turned into, how do I say this? There was 6 cops standing back there. I am 100% a law enforcement supporter. I am. There was 6 cops sitting back there, and those trucks, they had nowhere to go. It was turn around, good luck. So if you're not from around this neck of the woods, or, you know, I have an old-timer buddy of mine, he does not use technology. He does not use smartphones. It was Lawton? I suppose we could meet him there. But if you don't have any of that stuff, you are, how do I get across? The close, I mean, there's, in between Holstein, Iowa and Correctionville, Iowa, where we were, where the road was closed, there was 2 other major highways, not state highways, but county highways, that they could have shut it down right there, and they could have had, all they would have had to do was put 2 barricade signs up, one right off of 20 and one right at Highway 175, and then that would have easily sent the drivers back to where they needed to go. Instead, they just stood there going like this. 6 of them. They knew, as of 5 o'clock this morning, all local law enforcement and fire and EMS were notified of the amount of water that's going to come down the Little Sioux River. The Big Sioux River is what's shutting down Sioux City. Sioux City, Iowa, and North Interstate 29 is shutting down again. If you caught my last video, Mom and Dad are already home. They figured, you know what, we're not going to screw with it. We're just going to come home from their trip. It's frustrating. If you're just watching this for the flood content, I am a truck driver, and I've been in those situations where they just go, they don't give you any say whatsoever. So we've met up with our friends. We decided to meet them in Lawton, instead of going up to Lamar's. They had been trapped in their property, I think, for 3 days. And so they said, hey, don't come up here. We want to leave the property and go for a ride. So we met up with them. We went for a ride. It's been 3 hours, I want to say, possibly 4, since we were here in Anthony, Iowa, where we are again. And I'm going to show you a light pole that we were standing beside. Actually, we were on the boat ramp when we were here last. Now, if I remember right, I told you guys that where we were standing right here, it would be probably 8 feet deep. And I had my doubts, I'm not gonna lie, I did. And it still might not be, but where that light pole's at is the boat ramp that me and Sarah were just standing on not too long ago. So that water is coming up. I'm kind of contemplating on running over to Correctionville again and just not going inside the town, just setting up on the hill and seeing how the town is looking. Because I also said earlier how I did not like being in town and just driving around and looking at everybody's disaster. But since we were there, I did record it. That is horrible. The crest is supposed to be it's supposed to reach its height, I think, by 1 a.m. Maybe tomorrow. We'll buzz back by here and make our way south towards Turin, Iowa. Turin is supposed to, well, from what I heard, they are going door to door telling them this flood is going to be unlike any other, and there's a good chance that it's going to go over its banks and come into the town of Turin. So you may want to consider evacuation now. Well, there you go. There's pretty nasty floods going on. Tomorrow I'm going to grab the camera. I have to run up to Sioux City, then I have to go down to Ottawa. So those are 2 areas that are going to be flooding out pretty good. I'm not going to cover anything up in the Sioux City area just because it's just too populated. I will, so basically I'm not going to cover anything on the Big Sioux River. I'm going to cover a little bit on the Little Sioux River some more. That's what we were on all day today, was the Little Sioux River. And we'll go down into that Turin area or check out Smithland. We might even spin back by Anthony and check it out, see how it's going. I'm going to stay away from Correctionville. The way it sounds, Correctionville's getting hit pretty hard. And I know ways to get into Correctionville, and I know it'd be super cool to show everybody the footage of a town flooding, not because of how cool it is, but just how the dramatic side of things. But I think I'm going to stay away from Correctionville until possibly cleanup time or something. Maybe we'll go down there and chip in a little bit if we can. That's the plan. As for right now, if you're watching in the normal trucking order, we'll get back to the trucking side of things after a couple of videos here just covering the floods, just because they're just around me. So I'm just going to cover them because they are around me. Yeah. You guys stay safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.